Hello and welcome to Namaste World, your daily window into the biggest stories shaping India and the world. On today's show, a fragile ceasefire between Thailand and Cambodia has shattered again, with fresh gunfire, border acquisitions, and suspended ceasefire raising fears of a wider conflict. Are the two nations sliding back into war? Also on the show, Putin's India visit has supercharged Kudankulam's nuclear plant, reinforcing Russia's role in India's nuclear future. But as global pressure rises, can Russia help India grow in this field? All of this and much more lined up on this edition of Namaste World with me, Pranay Upadhyay. A fragile peace along the Thailand-Cambodia border now lies broken. Just 2 months ago, leaders from Thailand and Cambodia signed an enhanced ceasefire in the presence of US President Donald Trump. The agreement was hailed as a major diplomatic victory. Now fresh violence has erupted and the US brokered truce is on the verge of collapse. On Wednesday, gunfire broke out near a disputed border village, with Cambodia reporting 1 person killed and 3 wounded. Cambodia accuses Thai troops of opening fire first, while Thai insists its forces only returned warning shots after coming under attack from the Cambodian side. The incident follows escalated tensions. Thailand has demanded an apology from Cambodia over a landmine blast that maimed a Thai soldier earlier this week, and Bangkok has already suspended the ceasefire pact signed last month. The two neighbors have long contested parts of their 800-kilometer border, a legacy of colonial-era maps, and with deadly clashes in July, killing at least 48 people and displacing hundreds of thousands. As both sides trade blames and calm remains precarious, fears are growing on a return of a full-scale conflict. Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit to India has supercharged progress on country's largest nuclear power project, with fresh Russian fuel arriving for Kudankulam's Unit 3 as both leaders push for deeper energy cooperation. As India focuses on deeper energy infrastructure, can Russia remain New Delhi's most dependable nuclear partner? Here is a report by Debangana Datta.
Russian President Vladimir Putin's visit to India this week brought fresh momentum to the country's largest nuclear power project. As he met Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the 23rd India-Russia Annual Summit, a Russian cargo plane was simultaneously delivering the first batch of nuclear fuel for Unit 3 of the Kudankulam nuclear power plant in Tamil Nadu. Putin's promise was clear and confident. Russia will see this flagship project through to completion. When all 6 reactor units become operational, Kudankulam will generate 6,000 megawatts of electricity, making it India's largest power station of any kind. 2 units are already connected to the grid, powering millions of homes across southern India. 4 more are under construction, with Unit 3 now entering its critical pre-commissioning phase. But this project has travelled a long and turbulent road to get here. The story begins in 1988, when Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi and Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev signed an agreement to build 2 nuclear reactors in India. Then the Soviet Union collapsed and the project fell into limbo. The United States raised strong objections, arguing the deal violated Nuclear Suppliers Group guidelines established in 1992. For nearly a decade, Kudankulam was what one Atomic Energy Commission chairman called a non-starter. Construction finally began only in September 2002, 14 years after the original agreement. Today, Kudankulam stands as the only foreign-built nuclear plant actually producing electricity in India. American and French projects remain stalled over pricing and liability disputes. Russia, meanwhile, has delivered on its promises, despite Western sanctions imposed after the Ukraine conflict. The timing of Putin's visit underscores a deeper message. As India pushes towards its net zero emissions goal by 2070, it needs reliable, carbon-free baseload power. Nuclear energy provides that stability when the wind stops blowing and the sun sets. Russia has positioned itself as India's most dependable energy partner. with Putin calling his country a reliable supplier of everything India's development requires. The two leaders also discussed expanding cooperation on small modular reactors, compact nuclear units that could revolutionize India's industrial decarbonization strategy. Russia is pitching factory-assembled reactors that could be manufactured in India under the Make in India initiative. For New Delhi, Kudankulam represents more than just electricity. It's a testament to an independent foreign policy that prioritizes energy security over bloc politics. For Moscow, completing the 6-reactor complex demonstrates its ability to deliver on strategic projects, despite Western pressure to isolate Russia economically. As Unit 3 moves towards criticality, in the coming months, the plant will edge closer to its full 6,000 megawatt potential, providing the spinning reserve India's renewable heavy southern grid desperately needs. Putin's promise matters because, unlike others, Russia has actually kept its nuclear commitments to India. With Dibagna Datta, Bureau Report, India Today Global.
President Donald Trump's love for golf isn't just a personal pastime. It's a massive taxpayer expense, with a new analysis showing his second term travel already costing over $71 million and potentially soaring to $300 million. From Florida to Scotland, every round comes with a hefty price tag. So how much more will Americans pay for the president's golf habit? Here is a report by Farhan Khan.
Let's talk about something Donald Trump is as famous for as his rallies: golf. And more specifically, how much it costs the American taxpayer. According to a new HuffPost analysis, Trump's golfing during his second term has already cost around $71 million US. And if he keeps going at the same pace, that figure could rocket to a staggering $300 million by the end of his term. Here's how those numbers stack up. Trump has made 16 trips to Mar-a-Lago this year alone. Each visit with Air Force One, massive Secret Service details, and even Coast Guard patrol boats costs about $3.4 million. If he squeezes in just 2 more visits in December, his 2025 total will cross $75 million. And remember, this is just his second term. During his first 4 years in office, Trump racked up $151.5 million in golf-related expenses. Those numbers come from Government Accountability Office estimates, and they are based on 2019 data. Because military and police salaries haven't been adjusted for inflation, the real costs today are likely significantly higher. Trump doesn't just stick to Florida either. He's also made 9 trips to his Bedminster, New Jersey resort, costing roughly $1.1 million each. Plus, a single trip to his new course in Aberdeen, Scotland, that one alone cost taxpayers nearly $10 million. Much of the cost comes from the aircraft involved. The 4-hour round trip on Air Force One to Mar-a-Lago costs about $1.1 million. Bedminster is slightly cheaper only because Trump switches to a smaller Boeing 757. In comparison, Joe Biden's weekend trips to Wilmington and Rehoboth Beach cost far less. The airports can't take a 747, so he used smaller planes or helicopters. Barack Obama's golf outings were also significantly cheaper because he typically played on nearby courses, including the one at Maryland's Joint Base Andrews. Trump famously refuses to use that course, although in true Trump fashion, he did take an aerial tour of it on Marine One recently. That little sightseeing trip cost taxpayers about $115,000, and it's not included in the $71 million total. Meanwhile, Trump's love of golf is so well known internationally that foreign leaders bring him golf-related gifts. Japan's Prime Minister recently handed him a golf leaf ball and tee set. South Africa's president brought golfing legends Ernie Els and Retief Goosen to the White House to win goodwill. World leaders have learned, if you want something from Trump, meet him on the course. Trump himself uses golf as proof of his fitness. His latest health report cites his frequent play as part of an active lifestyle. But his devotion to the game has drawn scrutiny too. A book by former caddies claims he cheats so often they nicknamed him Pele because he kicks the ball. Trump once blasted Obama for golfing, promising he would stay in the White House and work his ass off. Yet, by the end of his first term, Trump had racked up 293 days at his own courses. For a president, Trump has sure seen a lot of the greens, and taxpayers have footed an enormous bill for every round. With Farhan Khan, Bureau Report, India Today Global.
As we wrap up today's show, here's a quick look at the top stories making waves around the world. President Trump's new security strategy drops denuclearization of North Korea, sparking speculation of a major diplomatic reset with Kim Jong-un. 7 people were injured after a Russian drone hit an apartment building in Ukraine as relentless attacks continue in devastating Ukraine's northeastern Sumy region. Syria marks 1 year since Bashar al-Assad's fall, celebrating a returning point even as the nation struggles to rebuild after years of devastating war. Around 100 abducted children from Catholic school in central Nigeria have been freed as questions grow over how the rescue was secured. And that brings us to the end of today's edition of Namaste World. From breakthrough in technology and business to political developments and natural disasters, stay tuned as we bring you the latest updates, key developments, and more from New Delhi to New York. See you again tomorrow, same time, right here on Namaste World.